it's been 7 weeks. We've been here under stay-at-home orders for 7 weeks now, and we really don't know when we're gonna go back to normal, if at all. A week before this all began, my daughter came down from upstate New York with the kids because they had close to schools down there or up there for about a week, and they're still here. It turns out that they kept the schools closed up there, and thank God, you know, I have the opportunity to telework. As some of you know, I work for the federal government, specifically the U.S. Navy, and they allow me to telework. I do go in once, maybe twice a week. There are some things that I can't do from home. So, like last week, I went in a couple of days, and yeah, everyone, well, not everyone, but most people are teleworking anyway. There are some projects that we just can't stop, and there's some things that we have to do on location. So what I want to do today is I want to continue with my garden. I'm going to take one part of the garden, I'm going to clean it up a little bit today, and plant some pepper plants that I have that I ordered. Those I ordered about maybe 3 weeks ago. They came in via mail, and they're super hot peppers, like Carolina Reapers and ghost peppers. I've been growing them for years, but I myself, I don't eat them. I just give them away. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. It's a beautiful sunny day, and by the way, today is Tuesday, April 28th, and check this out. Isn't that cool? My grandmother taught me how to peel an orange this way. Yeah, you can do the traditional way, the cross type, but this way is so much nicer. She taught me this when I was living in San Sebastian, back when I was about 5 or 6 years old. So basically, you start from the top, you start peeling all around the orange, and yeah, I never forgot it. So yeah. So if you guys get bored and you want to peel an orange the Puerto Rican way, the Doña Jovita way from San Sebastian, do it the way I just did it. And by the way, look at that truck. Isn't that cool? That's my 52 Chevy truck, half-ton. I haven't cleaned it up in years. I think it's been about, I don't know, maybe 7 years since I washed it. But it's, you know, it's always garage kept, so it stays relatively clean. The interior is, yeah, pretty much original. Some things have changed. Like, for example, the previous owner put in an AM/FM radio here inside the glove box, but it still has the original AM radio. And check it out. Now the truck isn't working right now. It needs a battery. Oh, and by the way, the battery, it's right here, passenger side. And let me see if I can open it. Yeah, it's this little plate here, and there it goes. There's a battery. So it needs a battery and a starter. That's it. Once I replace those, it'll be back on the road. Hopefully for my future farm or farmstead. It's kind of like a work of art. I love this truck. Every time I take it on the road, people just stare at it, because you don't see these on the road anymore. Yeah, but yeah, we're doing fine, and I hope you guys are doing fine as well. Yeah, it's taken a long time to get used to it, and we had no idea when all of this is going to end. Hopefully soon, but that's something that we can't control. So hey guys, and I don't know if you remember, but a couple of months ago, I had told you that I planted regao or culantro. This is how big the plants are now. They've been here for a couple of months, and they are humongous. And these are some of the plants I'm going to be planting outside very soon. And as you can see here, they're starting to seed already. So I'm going to cut this off once I plant them outside. But wow, they're huge. So this air garden really did a good job with them. So these are the plants that I was telling you about a few seconds ago. I'm going to take them outside. There you are. These are the super hot pepper plants. I haven't taken them out of the box yet. So I'm going to water them today and clean up the space where I'm going to plant them. So these are Carolina Reapers, Butcholokias. These are the ghost pepper plants. I'm going to plant some in pots and most of them here. So what my daughter and I were going to do, we're going to clean up this area right here later today and start planting. Alright, so here I have some kale and spinach. These I planted from seed about 4 weeks ago, and some Swiss chard. They haven't grown all that much, but yeah, they're doing well. Hopefully within a week or so they'll be ready for transplanting. So here we go, guys. So here my daughter and I cleaned up, and this is where I'm going to plant the peppers, maybe some tomatoes and a couple of other things. And over here on this side, this little patch of dirt here, this is going to be nothing but sunflowers, because this is where I figured over the last 15 years sunflowers grow best here, because it's mostly sun all day. It's kind of dry here, and this is where they do best. And of course I'm going to use some of the pots for some of the hot peppers and basil. I'm going to plant some basil there too, and a little bit of basil there. We like to have basil every year. And obviously we have about seven regal plants. They're huge. I think I may do a couple here just to test it out, but I also want to do some regal on some of the pots over there. So yeah, so like I said earlier, Carolina Reaper, Butcholokia, which are ghost peppers, and I got a couple Naga Vipers. These are super hot too. So right now, Carolina Reaper officially is the hottest in the world. Beautiful plants, and they've been in a box for what, maybe 2.5 weeks, and I didn't water them till just now. What are you doing, Jacob?
Scraping a rock.
Are you?
Yep.
So what kind of a fort is this?
Just a fort.
Yeah. What are your plans to do with it?
I don't know. Stay in it.
Okay.
Do some work.
Oh, okay. So how much more wood do you need, Jacob?
I don't know really.
Nah? Watering the garden? Oh, in case anyone is wondering, all this stuff back here is bamboo. Yeah, bamboo grows here in New Jersey. You see that? I mean, it's not as thick as the bamboo in Puerto Rico, but this stays green all year round. What are you gonna do here?
What?
What are you gonna do there?
Just wait until something grows.
Okay.
Leave me.
Yep. Well, I see a lot of bamboo roots here too. See that?
Yeah.
And they're hard as a rock. Very difficult to get rid of. So, this tip, what can I use this for?
Yeah.
What we use it for? What we use this tip for?
To get the bad guy.
Alright guys, so one thing I want to show you about pepper plants. I top them every year. And what I mean by that is I leave like 4 or 5 leaves in them, and then I cut the rest. Like that. See that? And what happens now, the plant starts to produce branches off the corners here. Where these leaves end, they'll start producing more branches, and the plant gets bushier and bushier, and it will produce more peppers. So to my knowledge, this only works with peppers, okay? Not tomatoes, not anything else that I know of. But every year I top them off. So I'm gonna top this one off, and in about 2 weeks you'll start seeing the little branches come off shooting from the side definitely gives me more peppers, a bushier plant, and yeah, it's I get a lot more production out of it. So I'm gonna top off all 24 plants right now. And there you go, all my super hot peppers have been topped, every single one of them. My Carolina Reapers, my Buchalokias, which are also known as ghost peppers, and my 2 Naga Vipers. Okay, so what happens now with the pepper plants? Now that they're topped, they grow a lot bushier, a lot bigger, and they will produce 2 to 3 times more peppers than had I not topped them. And that's the reason why you want the extra branches. They will produce a lot more peppers. You're making soup or something?
Yeah, I'm making soup.
Oh, okay.
I'm making pesto soup.
All right. Is your favorite?
Yeah.
You like pesto?
This is not pesto. This is pesto in a soup. So with the pesto stuff in the soup. So now, I use this rock, you know, just shed. See these? This,
Yeah.
That's this. I shred it until it makes that slimy stuff. The sauce of pesto.
Alright, so I'm gonna have to replace this wheel with this one today.
Is this the video?
Yeah. So, alright, but first I need some tools.
What's this?
What?
That.
What?
Can I open this?
Yeah. Yep. So I think I need, let me see. Alright guys, so it's time to plant a couple of these recao or culantro plants outside today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them out from here. Wait, I need 2 hands, so I'm going to have to put the camera down. Alright guys, so here are 3 plants. Look at the roots. And these are pretty big plants, lots of leaves. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and plant them here in these 3 pots, and maybe I'll add a little bit of organic fertilizer, and hopefully within a couple of months it'll be twice as big as this. But first I'm gonna cut off some leaves from here so my wife can use for cooking. These are awesome. All right, so I'm gonna plant the last one. I'm gonna spread the roots a little bit. Go. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of fertilizer on top. And here, we got the 3. We have 1, 2, and 3 plants. So this one, I'm gonna cut off this. But this will become a seed pod eventually, a bunch of seeds. So I'm gonna cut that away, and that's it. So these are the only 3 I'm gonna do today, and then this weekend I'll do more. All right, but before I go, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off some leaves so my wife can use for her cooking tonight, or some, you know, for some other dish this week. And I'm gonna do the same for all the plants, that one and that one. So, but look at that, this will be twice the size in about a month. All right guys, so today is Saturday, May the 2nd. I went to Home Depot, I got a few more plants, and I'm gonna start this morning on planting all my peppers and everything else that I have. So yeah, I got some marigolds, pepper, and tomato plants, and I'm gonna plant them here this morning. And I'm gonna move the soil a little bit. I don't have too much because it was stilled last year. So I'm gonna use that fork over there to move it around before I start planting. Alright guys, so I'm done with this area. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little bit of weed blocker, especially here on this corner, because I have mint that grows on that corner, and mint spreads like it spreads a lot, so it'll probably overrun anything that I plant on this side. But you know, weed blocker's not necessary. I'm just going to do it to prevent obviously some weeds and the mint from coming up. So yeah, this, I think it's going to help out a little bit. That way I don't have to weed as much. But again, it's not necessary. Now, one thing I want to do before I put on the weed blocker is I want to break up those large clumps of dirt. Alright guys, so I ran out of weed blocker, but I think that's enough for here. It'll prevent me or avoid me from having to weed all this area. So I have to plant the peppers and tomatoes 18 to 24 inches apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn a hole 18 inches apart and start the process. Alright guys, so I made a huge mistake, and the pepper plants, the ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers, and the Vipers, look what happened to them. It's only been about 3 days, and when I got them from cross-country nurseries, the instructions specifically said as soon as you get them, take them out of the box and water them every 2 or 3 days. Well, I didn't take them out of the box for like 2.5 weeks, so most of the leaves have died, but most of these plants are okay. What would happen is, I don't know if you can see it down here, the small leaves will start coming up from the little stems there, and I believe that all the plants will survive. They're okay. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to plant them as soon as I can on the ground, and hopefully within 2 weeks you'll see a whole bunch of leaves. Yeah, like right there. I don't know if you can see it. There's small leaves everywhere. Even though the big ones have died off, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But if you ever order anything from online, do as the instruction says. And I have every year, but I got a little lazy this year. I don't know what happened. And I didn't take them out of the box, obviously waiting for the weather to improve. And it was a little chilly here during the month of April. But everything else back there, like the kale, spinach, and Swiss chard that I planted from seed, it's coming along good. It looks good. All right guys, so we know that peppers have to be planted 18 inches apart. So what I did is I cut this piece of bamboo about 18 inches apart. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the weed blocker 18 inches apart, make a hole, and start planting my pepper plants here. Alright, so I planted a Roma tomato plant here, and I'm done with most of my peppers. You can see they're planted everywhere. And now I'm also going to plant a few marigolds to attract the bees. And I'm almost done with this bed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to top it off with mulch. And yeah, that'll be that. All right guys, so I'm done here with this bed. As you can tell, pepper, tomatoes, basil. We have basil here and we have basil there, and another tomato. That's a Roma tomato, by the way. Now over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the rest of my plants. Peppers, basil, and a couple of jalapenos over there. And as you saw a couple of days ago, I did a regal here. So I cut off most of the leaves and I planted them here, and I have a couple more that I want to bring out. Okay, so the last thing I have to do is plant 4 more regal plants, and here they are. I'm going to plant them right here. I've already done some others. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dig a hole. This is dirt that I put here from like 2 years ago, and we planted peppers here. All right, so I dug like a 4-inch hole. I'm going to put a little bit of organic material or fertilizer at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and stick the plant in and fill around the edges with dirt. I'm going to add a little bit more fertilizer on top, and then I'm going to mulch around it. And this is what it looks like. But now what we're going to do, since we have a lot of leaves, we're going to go ahead and pull some of them off. And the last step we're going to do is to water this plant. Alright guys, so this is the last plant. Everything turned out very nice. I have a couple of more culantro or recal plants along the edges. Make it easy to pick. Alright guys, so I want to close this vlog now, but before I go, I just want to let you know I'm not a professional gardener. What I've done today is what works for me. And then again, it may not work this year, but I'll keep you guys posted here in a couple of weeks, and I'll let you know of the progress. Now on the next video, I'm going to plant sunflowers, and I'm going to plant the Swiss chard and the kale and spinach. So yeah, I look forward to that, but I have to wait for the plants to grow for another week or two. So yeah, I hope that all of you are doing well in quarantine as I am. I still don't know how long this is going to last, but you know, we can make it work, and I'll find a lot of things to do around the house, and hopefully in the near future I'll bring you guys some vlogs from the area where I live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So you guys have a great morning, day, or night, wherever you are. So I'll see you on the next one.